Hey guys, we're doing dividing today, dividing the fractions. I think you'll like dividing fractions. If you were good at multiplying fractions, you're going to be great at dividing. Now, if you remember from yesterday, the way we multiplied fractions, we went straight across. We did numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. You need to know that because guess what you're doing in dividing? You're actually multiplying. Okay, so go ahead and press pause and copy the notes. That make sure you leave yourself a lot of room here. Okay, this is all we're doing. So make sure you have yourself a lot of space. You can move these down further down if you need to. Okay, and then come back and I'll explain. All right. Okay, so dividing fractions. What you're really doing is multiplying. So we're going to turn, first of all, just like with multiplying, we have to turn all the mixed numbers into improper fractions by using the Texas wheel. Now, just like with multiplying, I do not have to worry about the denominator. They can be different, which is awesome. One less step I have to do. But I do have to change my mixed numbers into improper fractions by using the Texas wheel. Once you have changed your mixed numbers into improper fractions, we are now going to multiply by the reciprocal. And what is the reciprocal? It's actually the fraction flipped, okay? So if I ask you for the reciprocal of 1 over 2, flip it, it's 2 over 1. If I ask you for the reciprocal of 3 over 4, flip it, it's 4 over 3, okay? So the reciprocal is taking the fraction and flipping it around, okay, just like that. Now, some of the terms you might have heard from elementary was KCF, which stands for keep, change, flip. Because when you divide, you have two numbers you're dividing. You have two numbers you have. So keep stands for the first fraction. We're going to keep the first fraction the same, not do anything to it, okay? Then we're going to change. We're going to change the division symbol into multiplication. And then we're going to flip. We're going to flip that second fraction to its reciprocal, okay? So we KCF it, keep, change, flip, all right? And then, of course, always the last step, simplify if you need to, okay? Good, so let's get into our examples here. So the first example, step 1, look for mixed numbers. Here I have 1/6 and 1/5. I don't see any whole numbers, so I'm good to go, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do step 2, which is multiply by the reciprocal. Now, if you wanna use KCF, the K goes above the first fraction, the C goes above the division, and the F goes above the second fraction, okay? So K stands for keep the first fraction alone. We're gonna keep it, don't do anything to it. C, change. We're changing division into multiplication, okay? And the last one, the F, flip. We're gonna flip 1/5. So the reciprocal of 1 over 5, 5 over 1, okay? So you've just turned a division problem into a multiplication problem. Now, if I had negatives here, the negatives come down. I'm just changing the operation, okay? So now we're gonna do what we did yesterday. If you remember how we multiply fractions, it's numerator times numerator. So 1 times 5 is 5. And then denominator, I used green yesterday, didn't I? And then denominator times denominator, so 6 times 1 is 6. And then you always ask yourself, of course, can I simplify 5 over 6? Nope. Is it improper? Nope. So we are good. Your answer to 1/6 divided by 1/5 is 5/6. Okay? Good. Let's take a look at number 2. 4/9 divided by 1/2. Now again, do you see any whole numbers? Do you see any mixed numbers? Nope. So we're good to go. Okay, so step 2 says multiply by the reciprocal, or we can KCF it. However you like to memorize that. Keep it, change it, flip it. Okay? So I'm going to keep 4/9 the same. Nothing happened to him. I'm going to change division into multiplication. And I'm going to flip 1/2 to 2 over 1, just like that. Okay, now we're ready for the answers. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply numerator times numerator. So 4 times 2 is 8. And then denominator times denominator, 9 times 1 is 9. Okay, now can I simplify 8 over 9? Is it improper? So we are done. So the answer to 4 9s divided by 1/2 is 8 9ths. Okay, see, it's not too bad, not too bad. Just remember the first fraction stays the same. Division changes to multiplication, and because of that, we have to go ahead and flip the second fraction. We have to do the reciprocal of the second fraction. Good. Example 3, not step 3, example 3. Okay, step 1. Do we see mixed numbers or whole numbers? Right here we do. So before I can keep, change, flip, you have to change this out. So let's do our Texas wheel. There's Texas, and here comes the wheel. Okay, so let's do 4 times 6, 24, plus 1, 25. And the denominator stays the same. Everything else comes down. Okay, since 3x is a fraction, we leave it like that. Now, what I need to do is go ahead and keep it, change it, flip it. Okay, so K, C, F, if you need it. Okay, so we're going to keep 25 over 4, change division to multiplication, and we're going to do the reciprocal of 3/8, which is 8/3. Okay, now multiply. Numerator times numerator. So let's see, 8 times 25. 8 times 5 is 40. 200. Come on, blue pen. There we go. 200. Okay? And then we do denominator times denominator. So 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? So 200 over 12. Now, before I divide, I want to go ahead and simplify this out. Okay? Now, since they're both even numbers, I could go ahead and start with the number 2. But I do know that 4 can go into 200 because 4 can go into 20. And I also know that 4 can go into 12. Okay? So I'm going to actually simplify these by 4. If you do it by 2, that's fine. You'll just do it twice and you'll get the same answer. I promise. Okay, I promise. So when I divide this out, let's see what we get. 20 divided by 4 is 50. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now, I can't go any further. Okay, so far that's my final answer, but I see that it is improper. So I need to go ahead and divide it out. So I'm going to divide 50 divided by 3. Let's see how many whole numbers we can get out of here. Okay, so I'm going to move this up so you can see a little bit better. There we go. So 3 goes into 5 one time. 2, bring down your 0. 3 goes into 20 6 times. And I have remainder 2. Okay, remember how to write your answers? Well, let's write them. So back up here, I'm going to put my answer up here. 16 is my whole number. The remainder is my numerator. And my denominator stays the same. So 16 2/3 is my final answer. Okay, just like that. So 6 1/4 divided by 3/8, 16 2/3. Now, questions I usually have right now. Man, how did I go from 6 1/4 to 16? That's bigger. I thought dividing makes it smaller. Oh, this is what you're actually doing. I'm taking 6 whole pizzas, okay, that are cut into fourths. And I'm changing it into 8s. I'm dividing it up into 8s, okay? So yeah, I'm dividing them into smaller pieces, but that's actually making it bigger, more slices, okay? So because we have more slices, this number actually does get a little bit bigger because we are taking something and making more of it by cutting it up, okay? So that's what's actually happening. Now, we do that so you can see. There we go. Okay. So now 5 divided by 3/4. We follow the same rules, okay? So first thing you look for, do you see whole numbers or mixed numbers? Yes. So we have to deal with that before I do KCF, okay? So whole number, we need to change that into an improper fraction. So we stick a 1 underneath it always, okay? If a whole number is by itself, stick a 1. Dividing, I haven't done anything with that, so that is coming down. Mixed number, let's do the Texas wheel, coming along. And 3 times 4, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 plus 3, 15. And denominator comes down. Okay? Now that you've converted your whole number into an improper fraction and your mixed number into an improper fraction, now I can keep it, change it, flip it, or the actual word is multiply by the reciprocal, okay? So 5/1 stays 5/1. Division, changing that to multiplication, and the reciprocal of 15/4 is 4/15, okay? Now, multiply. So we're going to do numerator times numerator. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then denominator times denominator, 1 times 15 is 15. Now, I know it's an improper fraction right now, but I'm going to go ahead and simplify it first because I can see that I can simplify it. And then I'll go ahead and divide it because I want to divide small numbers. So since this ends in 0 and this ends in 5, always go back to your divisibility rules. Okay, it's in the materials section. I can divide both of these by 5. And that'll get me 20 divided by 5 is 4. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay? Now, look, I'm dividing 4 by 3. Instead of 20 by 15, I'm just doing 4 divided by 3. Makes it easier, okay? But if you divide 20 by 15 and then simplify, you're going to get the same answer, I promise, okay? So 3 goes into 4 one whole time. Remainder 1. So if you remember, your answer is your whole number. The remainder is your numerator, and your denominator stays the same. So the answer here is 1 and 1/3. 1 and 1/3. I can use my blue highlighter. Can y'all see that? Yeah, okay. All right. And that's division. So change your mixed numbers into an improper fraction. Then do the keep, change, flip, multiply by the reciprocal. And that's what that means. And then multiply straight across. And then always ask yourself, can I simplify the fraction? And is it improper? Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and do a few. Okay, try it out. I only gave you a couple. So go ahead and press pause. Do these on your own. And then we'll see if you get it. Okay? All right, let's see how you did. You should have seen that these two are just your regular proper fractions. So they're going to stay like that. They're ready for you to change it. So we're going to keep it, change it, flip it. How'd y'all do in that part? Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and find our answer. So you should have done 5 times 2, 10. 7 times 1, 7. Now 10 and 7 could not be simplified further, but I do see that it is improper. So I'm going to divide. So 7 goes into 10 one time with 3 left over. Remainder 3. So my answer is 1 whole, 3 is my numerator, it's the remainder, and 7 is my denominator. 1 and 3/7. Okay, so check that one, see how you did. If you did it right, good job. Okay, if not, kind of see where you're wrong. Okay, maybe it was in the flipping or the multiplication, so be careful. Okay, now let's check this one out. Right away, first thing you should have done, do our Texas wheel. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19 over 2. Divided by, remember, you're not changing it yet. Okay, do the Texas again. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16 over 5. Yay us. Now we can go ahead and keep it, change it, flip it. You're multiplying by the reciprocal, okay? So 19 over 2 times, flip this one, you should have got 5 over 16. Yes, yes, yes. Now let's multiply. 19 times 5. I'm going to put the answer down here because it's over here to the side. So 5 times 9 is 45. 4. 95. And then 2 times 16. 32. Ooh, there's my numbers. 32. Okay. 95 and 32. I do not think that can be simplified further. They're not both even, so that gets rid of the 2. I can't do it by 4. Nope, not by 5 either. So no, I can't. So that leaves me having to divide. So let's divide it out. Okay, so our answer is going to be ready. 95 divided by 32. So let's say 2, 3, definitely 2. It goes in twice. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. Yeah, see, it was right there. Remainder, 31. See, you're done. Once you get the remainder, you're done. I didn't have to keep on going. That's why I like fractions over decimals. Decimals make you keep going and going. So whole number was a 2. Remainder is a 31. Denominator, 32. And that's what your answer should have been. 2 and 31 over 32. Okay? You got that right. Good job. Okay? Very good job. All right. Any questions? Please let me know through private comment or email, or come on Google Meets if you have a question. Okay? All right, guys. I'll see y'all next time. Okay? Have a great day. Bye.